The Trump administration is offering incentives to illegal migrants if they self-deport by using a government app.
Yeah, the Department of Homeland Security says it will give them $1,000 as well as travel assistance. Joining us now is Reichlin-Melnick, a senior fellow at American Immigration Council. Thank you so much for being here this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Can you, first of all, give us the main goal that you see in this initiative, but also talk about just how complicated this really is? I mean, the administration, it seems, is trying to make this sound like it's very easy. You just apply, you get $1,000, you leave the country, you do that, you're all good. But it's much more complicated than that.
That's right. There are a lot of open questions about how this actually is going to play out, and the government has yet to provide the answers. First, we don't know exactly who qualifies for this offer. Do people with certain criminal convictions not qualify? Do people who have some form of temporary status like DACA or temporary protected status or humanitarian parole qualify? And we also don't know how people will be paid or how this will be tracked. So at this moment, we are just waiting for some very basic answers from the federal government about how this process will operate.
Of course. And the Department of Homeland Security, of course, is saying they want to replace forced removal with this self-deportation. They're saying it's safer and more cost-effective for taxpayers. Do you see any benefit to this at all possibly being the case? And when it comes to costs, what I was reading last night is it can cost about $17,000 to arrest, detain, and remove someone who's here illegally. So they're saying this will save taxpayers money. Is there any truth or benefit to any of this?
Well, certainly from the point of view of the government, it would be easier if people just left on their own. And the reality is that the Trump administration is not going to be able to hit their million deportation a year goal because the U.S. government simply doesn't have the manpower, the resources, or the ability to carry out that kind of staggering level of deportations. No president has ever managed to hit more than 240,000 deportations of people inside the interior in any given year. And it's been more than a decade since we even hit 100,000. So from their perspective, getting people to self-deport, to be so afraid about the possibility of being arrested in the interior, would be a cost savings. But it's also a bit more complicated than that because the people themselves may not want to take advantage of this offer because they have lengthy ties to the community. Half of all undocumented immigrants have been in the United States for more than 15 years and have very deep ties here. They may have jobs and families and other things. And simply an offer of $1,000 isn't going to be enough for them to want to simply give everything up.
Beyond that, can't there also be problems? The majority of these people do not want to go back to the countries that they left for a number of different reasons. You know, it can be everything from human trafficking, sex abuse. I mean, you're talking about real potential issues in deciding to go back. So what ethical concerns do you see here in this method?
Yeah, beyond, of course, the sort of practical realities that for many people going home after decades or more in the United States isn't really possible, there are serious legal consequences for many people for leaving the country. The Trump administration pitched this and said, well, if you are, if you take this option, you may be able to come back. But the reality is that for most undocumented immigrants, the second they set foot over the U.S. boundary and leave the country, they are barred from re-entering for at minimum 10 years. And for some people, there may be an even longer bar on re-entry. And the reality is, for the overwhelming majority of the undocumented population, if they leave, they will never be able to come back. And that means that a lot of people should, if people are considering taking this offer, they should talk to an attorney first. They should not take any kind of offer like this without understanding the full consequences.
No, you're right. President Trump is saying they may have a chance to come back, but really not laying out a clear path for them to do that. Aaron, thank you so much for joining us with your insight this morning.
Thank you again.